Every day is its own grand adventure of you decide. It's kind of a choose your own adventure book is kind of what it is. Some days it's fantastic. Some days you get through the day and you're like, whoa, we had a great day. And other days you get through the day and you can't breathe and you're so tired. You swear you've already fallen asleep before your head hits the pillow. And it's been verbal judo and trying to meet needs and trying to understand and make sure that they understand and trying to make sure that they feel heard in the process. It's a whole journey. I'm a caregiver for my father who's cognitively declining. I have over 10 years of long-term care experience dealing with other people's family members, but it is so different when it is your family. My dad is currently nice, middle of the road, cognitively declined, struggling with word finding, struggling with basic memory functions, such as like what a tortilla is. When you say, I can either make you a burrito bowl or a burrito with a tortilla, which would you prefer? The answer is, what's a tortilla? Kind of what we experience on a daily around here. We're also a multi-generational family. So we have my 13-and-a-half-year-old daughter, and then it's my mom and my dad and I and our dogs. You may see them around in the video. They're outside right now. And lately, we've been in one of those rough patches where it's just a little bit harder than it feels like it should be. And in the midst of it, my 13-and-a-half-year-old daughter, she'll tell me, she goes, tell me the story of Dr. Alzheimer's. So with that, I share a story. I had this amazing resident for years. Let's call him Ray. Ray was one of those men that was a sweetheart. He was dear. He was wonderful. He had a smile that lit up the room. He also was a World War II veteran. He was a pacifist. He was raised in the Mennonite tradition. And so when he went to war, he was determined that he wasn't going to go and take lives, but he was going to save lives. So he went as a medic. He told stories about marching on Paris and taking back Paris. He lived this grand life that was full of gentleness, sweetness, and choosing life ultimately. And as he aged, his Alzheimer's really started to take over. And there, at the end, there were these nights, like I knew him for years, and he and I always had a great relationship. There were these nights that all of a sudden, as he put it, Dr. Alzheimer's would take over. And when Dr. Alzheimer's would take over, he would start to get aggressive, verbally, and sometimes even start to step towards you. So not physically abusive, but definitely starting to barrier train you to get you to do what he wanted you to do. And this one night I looked at him and I said, he started, he went rah, 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 rah. And I looked at him and I was like, Ray, it's Katrina. Remember, we're friends. And he sat there and he took a deep breath and he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Alzheimer's did it again. And he genuinely meant it. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, I came in, was getting a report. And they started telling me about the night before and that the girls got chased through the hallways and they had to lock themselves in a room to get away from Ray. Apparently they didn't use the same de-escalating tools that I did that night, the night that I had with Ray. There's this thing that happens where, with cognitive decline, where the person leaves you, the person that they've always been starts to leave. And we are definitely in that place in my house. And thankfully, my dad isn't being aggressive. He's just being really unpleasant and unkind in a very passive aggressive way. And so my kid is his favorite person in the entire house. I am the person he hates the most, but that's because I'm the person in charge. He hates me. And you know, somehow the Lord has given me a thick skin to do that. So praise God. And he loves my mom, and they've been married for 51 years, and she is so tired, and it's just hard. It's just hard. But on those nights where my kid really gets frustrated when my dad goes after me or will say something nasty to my mom. And so we'll go and we'll have a private moment and be like, tell me that story again of Dr. Alzheimer's. And I'll say, baby, number one, you know that this isn't your grandpa and he literally can't control it. But number two, that he's still in there somewhere. And so in these moments, we have to offer grace, love, and mercy, while also correcting the behavior and not allowing it to continue or take root. And that becomes the challenge. And that's where some days are easier than others. And that's where some days are really hard. It's just real. It just is. So as we share our story, as I open up my heart and how God is moving in our life, the reality is, even in the midst of cognitive decline taking over, we still are blessed. And we are blessed that I have the skills that I have to be able to do the verbal judo and to be able to redirect and to be able to, first and foremost, understand what is happening, because my mom and my daughter don't have that same training, and it's hard. It's hard when you don't. And so it's having somebody come alongside of you. So if you are dealing either as a caregiver, as a family member, both, and you have questions, please write down the questions that you have so that I can make a video addressing them. Because the reality is my hope and prayer is that ultimately our life is a witness, but in the midst of it, that we're also able to give people resources to help you find your way through your journey. So let me know what other stories that you can use. I will continue to share more stories of how we balance a child in the home. I mean, granted, she's a teenager. How we balance a teenager in the home and multi-generational. Thanks for coming along for the journey. My hope is that we can be a little bit of joy in your day. And maybe, just maybe, some of our stories may help on your journey.